Good morning, third grade students. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing just fine. Today's September 9th, 2020, and for our reading class, our teaching point is I can retell a story using the five fingers strategy. So, you guys just read a story about the grumpy monkey. It was a very funny story. I loved it. So let's see what you're going to do with that story today. Okay, so we're going to stop and think about the book that we just read, The Grumpy Monkey by Suzanne Lang, which was about a monkey that was always saying, I'm not grumpy. So when you read a story, you need to ask yourself the following questions in order for you to better understand the book you're reading or to retell the story to a person or to a friend. Okay? So the questions are number one, what was the story about? Number two, what was the problem? And number three, what was the solution? These are the three questions that you need to ask yourself after you read a story in order for you to retell the story. Okay? You always need to say what the story was about, the problem in the story, and how was the story or the problem solved. So we need to find some strategies in order for us to retell the story. Let's see what those strategies are. But first, let's understand what retelling means. Retelling is to tell the most important parts of a story from the beginning to the end. We do retelling to show our understanding, or we do retelling for fun. So, let's look at the strategies that we're going to use for retelling. When we retell, we need to think about the story elements. So let's remember what are the story elements that we've been talking about in class that we need to keep in mind after we read a story so that we can do a very good retelling. Okay, first one is the setting. Let's remember that the setting is the time and place where the story happens. Then we have the characters, which are the people or animals who act out the story. Our stories always need to have characters. Then we have the problem. So, what is the problem in a story? Well, the problem is the struggle that that character is having or facing, or any situation that is hard for the characters. Happenings are the events, the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. And lastly, the solution, which is how the story was tied up or how it was solved. So now let me introduce to you the five fingers strategy. Okay? So the five finger strategies, as you can see here, is about a hand that has five fingers, and each finger has a strategy that you can use to remember when you are retelling a story so that you can keep in mind what are the things that you need to remember when retelling a story after you read a book. Number one, as you can see in the fat finger, are the characters, who are the people, animals, or creatures in the story. Then you see this finger, which is the pointer, is all about the setting. When and where does the story take place? Then the middle finger would be the problem. What went wrong in the story? The other finger would be the events in the story. What happened in the beginning, middle, and end. The BME, beginning, middle, and end. And lastly, the pinky finger, which is the solution. How was the problem fixed or resolved? So every time you look at your hands and you see your five fingers, you can remember that each one of them means something about the story. So let's think about the grumpy monkey. Okay, the story has characters, which are the characters in the grumpy monkey. Where did that story take place? Where did it happen? And what was the problem and the solution? Okay, so now it's your turn, and you're gonna go to Seesaw and you're gonna find the activity, the Grumpy Monkey Five Finger Retell. Okay, and you guys are gonna go there and you're going to reread the story, and then you're going to use the five finger strategy. And last, after you do that, the last part is to record yourself retelling the story. That's very important to remember. We want to hear you retelling the story, okay? So don't forget using the microphone to record your retelling of the story, okay? So that is all for today. This was our reading class. We hope you enjoyed it, and we are looking forward to listen to your story, to your retelling. Okay? See you next time. Bye bye.